This orientation. This is a regional-wide activity. So, to start with, let us have a pambansang awit, followed by a regional prayer, and then our RX Adobe, and the norms thereafter. So, let us pause for a while for this multimedia presentation.
Be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the Lord will go before you, and His light will show the way. Be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the one who lives within you will be strong in you today. Why don't you give Him all of your fears? Why don't you let Him wipe all of your tears? He knows He's been through pain before, and He knows all that you've been looking for. So be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the Lord will go before you, and His light will show the way. Be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the one who lives within you is strong today. Nothing can take you out of His hands. Nothing can face you that you can't command. The Lord is risen right before, and His love, in His power, you'll be free. So be strong, take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the Lord will go before you, and His light will show the way. Be strong and take courage. Do not fear or be dismayed, for the one who lives within is strong today. Be strong and take courage, for the Lord will live within you. Will be strong in you today. Be strong
The unseen enemy crept like a thief in the night, smizing cunningly at people in their sleep. Rampage the world over. COVID-19 took the different sectors by storm, and education was no exception.
COVID-19 pandemic shocks the world. We didn't see this coming. We were caught unaware. This has created the new normal, and we have to embrace it by addressing the challenges it brings.
Determined to pursue the delivery of education amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, DepEd Region 10 launched its banner program dubbed as RX Adobe.
The Department of Education, Northern Mindanao, has crafted its learning continuity plans under the banner program RX Adobe, which stands for Region 10 Alternative Delivery of Basic Education. It underscores the alternative delivery modes under the remote teaching and learning. The 14 schools division offices of the region have crafted the learning continuity plans anchored on RX Adobe.
Always ready for education emergencies, DepEd Region 10 its tradition of excellence in delivering its services anchored on the department's Sulong Edukalidad program.
As we pivot from access to quality, we have to consider a well-developed curriculum, improved learning environment, upskilled teachers, and take into consideration responsive multi-stakeholder cooperation. All these and more are under the program Sulong Edukalidad. But on top of these all, still health and safety are the #1 concerns of the Department of Education, especially at this time of pandemic.
Serving with heart.
Leading
With a heart. Envisioning with a heart.
Straight from the heart of DepEd Region 10.
education must be key.
Hi. For all of us to make the most of today's activity and have a wonderful experience, the following perfect 10 suggestions on proper etiquette in video conferencing are offered. Condition yourself for the activity by ensuring that you are prepared and available for active engagement. Dress properly for the affair by ensuring that you do not look sloppy. Test your internet facilities beforehand by ensuring that your microphone, speakers, headphones, and internet connectivity are in place. Blur your background or use a decent one by ensuring that your room or chosen background does not have distracting features. Find a quiet or private space by ensuring that your area is not vulnerable to unnecessary noise. Observe proper cueing and timing by ensuring that you get the right verbal and nonverbal cues when requesting to be recognized for a question or comment. Speak only when recognized by ensuring that your microphone and camera are turned off unless authorized. Demonstrate active engagement by ensuring that you manifest active listening and balanced communication, especially during a conversation. Show reverence and appreciation for the presenter by ensuring that you give the presenter your full attention. Finally, be grateful for the opportunity by ensuring that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and being thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. Your meaningful and wonderful experience in today's activity is important to us. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, Region 10, DepEd Region 10. Okay, we are very thankful that today's activity we are assisted by our ICT, the beautiful lady, our CMT, Ma'am Fatima Villarimo, and our other ICT staff, si Sir Ralph Mabulay. So once again, thank you. Okay, so to continue with our orientation, okay, I would like to acknowledge the dignitaries who are in attendance today. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our, of course, our regional director, Dr. Arturo B. Bayocot, CESO 3, our assistant regional director, Dr. Victor G. De Gracia, CESO 5, and we are very fortunate today because the OIC to the Office of the Director 3 of BHROD, Director Jennifer E. Lopez, Ma'am Jelo. Okay, good morning po. And our Human Resource Development Division Chief of the region, Sir Raymond S. Antolo. And I would like also to acknowledge the participation or the attendance of our regional chief supervisors of the 9 divisions. And so with our regional office division or education program supervisors. And now I would like to present the participants from the 14 divisions. It's either the school heads and the chiefs, the education program supervisors, and the public school district supervisors from the 14 divisions. Okay, so let us start from the city. Let us start from the land of food basket, Bukidnon division. Okay, and from the city of Boom, Bloom, and Bosom, and it is also known as the city of Golden Friendship, Cagayan de Oro City Division. From the land of Lanzones, Camiguin Division. From the city of Divine Mercy, El Salvador City Division. From the city of Good Luck, Hingoog City Division. And from the city of Waterfalls, Iligan City Division. And from the land of Beauty and Bounty, Lanao del Norte Division. From the city of Forest, Malaybalay City Division. From the province where Mount Malindang is situated, that's Misamis Occidental Division. From the province, which is the gateway to northern Mindanao, it's Misamis Oriental Division. From the city of God Life, that's Arakita City Division. And from the city of Kota, that's Osami City Division. And Christmas symbols capital of the Philippines, Tangob City Division. And the last but not the least, from the city of Harvest, Valencia City Division. For everybody's information, this orientation is via Facebook Live of the Department of Education Region 10 and Microsoft Team platform. This is a half-day orientation up to 12 noon only with invited speakers to talk and discuss the competency standards for the school heads. Actually, we divided this into two batches. Today is for the school heads competency, and tomorrow is for the uh, education program supervisors or the supervisors competency standards. So if you are a supervisor who are now present today, and you are fortunate because you know what are really the competency standards of the school heads. So the next part is, let us listen to the welcome address, and at the same time the message of our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Victor G. De Gracia, CISO 5. ERD?
Yes. Thank you very much, Ma'am Gina. And mayang buntag sa tanan. My warmest greetings personally and on behalf of our beloved Regional Director, Sir Art Bayokot. At the outset, I'd like also to acknowledge and give my warmest greetings to Director Jennifer Lopez if she is monitoring already. At the outset, I would like to say thank you, and I commend our school heads for doing their best, working so hard to prepare for our opening of classes on October 5. I know it has been a difficult journey, but thank you very much for your persistence and hard work. That our teachers are now ready to start our opening of classes on October 5. And now, today, we are having an orientation on the competencies on the Philippine professional standards for school heads. Now, this is needed by you, for you to enable yourself to see where you are right now in terms of the competencies. Ang dami kasi nito, no? 5 domains, with 34 strands, no? With 4 career stages for each competency. So talagang maraming competencies itong school heads, no? Just pointing to the fact na very crucial ang role ng school heads, no? Especially in this time of pandemic. So itong mga competencies are even applicable at this time, no? Nasa pandemic tayo, and we are doing the distance learning modality in order to conduct our classes. So malaking challenge ito sa may school heads, no? But you see, this is also an opportunity to show your worth as a principal. Kasi malaking challenge. This is a crucible to test the kind of leadership that you are giving in your schools, especially in this difficult time. So, shining moment in ito, although it's a difficult moment for everybody. And for you in the front line, together with the teachers, talagang your role is crucial to the success of our distance learning for school year 2020-2021. And this orientation on the competencies on the Philippine professional standards for school heads will help you chart your course from here on forward to the end where you want yourself to be, na ang ating talagang hinahangad is for you to reach the stage 4 level of career in each competency. No? So it's a tall order, but we can always move towards that direction. No? With your experience and expertise that you are having each day, you know, eventually we hope that everyone goes forward to such level na talagang ano na siya, mature and excellent. Well, I'd like to stress no, na ang role ng school head talaga is very crucial. It's even said that where the principal goes, the school follows. Kung anong direksyon ang tatahakin ng principal, sumusunod yung school with the teachers and with the students. So, importante ang leadership ng principal. And these competencies will guide each one to grow in their career as school heads so that they can be more effective with time. Yung ating mga teachers are just waiting no, for the motivation and support of the principals. In fact, siguro na-experience nyo na being a principal is not all a matter of intellect. No? Talagang marunong ka, intellectually endowed. No, as you might have realized now, that intelligence is not enough. Now, in fact, it's only secondary to emotional intelligence. You know, how you work with people, you know, how you relate with your coworkers, and how you inspire them. No? So, ina-avoid natin na tayo ay magiging bossy. Ikaw lang palagi ang masusunod ba? No, that is a thing of the past. Yan ay ginagawa noon pa, no? Na pag ikaw ay principal, ikaw ang boss. You cannot make mistakes. So that's a thing of the past, no? Which we would like to everybody to already set aside. Ang call of the time now is to be an inspiring leader, no? Just like a servant leader. If you recall our Lord Jesus Christ, no? He led through servant leadership. He served his disciples, his apostles, instead of him being served. So sana ganun din yung ating attitude and perspective, no, towards our coworkers, our teachers, no? Kasi ang teachers natin, if they feel that we care for them, they do their best, no? If they're happy, they do their best. So yan ang greatest motivation nila, no? They do not work best kung tatakutin natin sila, because that's not sustainable. But they work best when they're happy. And they're happy if they feel that we care for them, if we support them. So we go back to our mission, no, as school head. We are stewards of our schools. And stewards means we care, we take care of our school. And caring means you care for the people inside, the teachers and the students. So dapat ma-feel ng bawat teacher at bawat estudyante na you as a leader, as their principal, care for them. And when they feel that, then there is less effort for us to get their cooperation. So teamwork should be the essence of our leadership in school. We work in school as a team. We develop our teachers. Yun naman ang function natin kasi sa DepEd mission natin. We are stewards of the institution, and we inspire our teachers. We motivate them, we inspire them, and let them do their best. So sana yun ang isa-isip natin palagi, that we are there to give inspiration, and we can only inspire if they see that we are sincere, that we are also good models. Ang importante kasi ngayon is to be a good example if you want to be a credible leader. Ipakita natin yung ating leadership by example. Gusto nating on time ang ating mga teachers, then we should first and foremost be on time also. Kung gusto nating mag-uniform ang ating mga teachers, then we should be in uniform also. So leading by example, I think that would be the most effective way to lead our respective schools. So I wish best wishes for all of you in this webinar on the competencies on the Philippine professional standards for school heads. My commendation also to our team here in the regional office, led by our chief of the HRDD, Sir Raymond Antolo, with Ma'am Gina Labitad here on board for this webinar. And the rest of the members of the HRDD, si Ma'am Becky, and also for our quad and FTAD, who are also monitoring and participating in this webinar. Si Ma'am Edith Ortega for FTAD, and for Sir Roy Evangelista for Quad. Okay, so wishing you all the best. Continue to be committed to our work, and to be open-minded to learn new things. Yun ang ang isang quality rin ng good leader, that you remain open-minded to new things, to learn new things, because the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So no one can say that is already perfect, and nobody is perfect. So each day is a new opportunity for us to learn, and this webinar is a learning experience for all of us. And may we all gain a lot from this webinar. We pray for your safety, for your good health, and for your continuing service to our learners. Ultimately, it's our learners who will benefit. Yun naman talaga ang ating purpose. We are a learner-centered organization, and the school is a learner-centered institution, and we do all things, everything, for the benefit, ultimate benefit of our learners. Okay, so thank you very much, and have an enjoyable engagement through this webinar. God bless all of you. Continue to be an inspiration to your people in school and in the community. God bless. Gina, I'm finished.
Okay. Thank you, ERD, of your words of welcome. Very inspiring message. I am touched to your statements. It seems that I go back to the field as the principal for 15 years. I would like to quote your statement that the role of the school head is very crucial. You said that what the school is what the principal. So leadership is the leadership of the principal is very, very essential. So, my dear colleagues in our academe, let us give a round of applause to our Assistant Regional Director. Again, thank you, ARD. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us listen to the statement of the purpose and objectives of this orientation. Why we have this, no? So let us listen to our HRDD Chief Raymond S. Antolo. Sir Raymond.
Okay, thank you very much, Gina. Dr. Gina Labitad is our focal person on RPMS, no? So thank you very much, ERD, for that inspiring message, no? Our RD Art Bayukot is in Oroquieta, um, attending an installation or installing a newly installed ASDS, uh, Dr. Bob Napire, no, as new ASDS of the division of Oroquieta City. So, to our friends from Oroquieta, okay, you have your new ASDS, a good example, no? A good example of a leader, Dr. Bob Napire. And then this afternoon also, RD Art will be installing another ASDS, Dr. ASDS my um, Mibato, no? So that's it. That's the reason why our RD cannot join with us this morning. And I would like also to thank, no, our guest, our resource speaker from Central Office, no, the young assistant director of one of the bureaus of Central Office, Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, BHROD, Director Jen Lopez, no, also known as Jello. And later on also, we will be joining with our resource speaker, a principal awardee, a Metrobank awardee, no? So na-preempt ko na yung introduction, si um, Dr. Enerio Ibiza. We'll be talking for the whole morning, okay? So my task this morning is to uh, give the statement of purpose, okay? Have you seen my slide? May slide ba na nakikita? Hindi ko nakikita.
Kani anto ini kani. Tamo kani sir kani kana. Then i-full na landay mo siya.
Okay. So as said by Dr. Labitad, we separate the session for the principals and the supervisors to have more focus of these newly developed competency standards for school heads and supervisors. Actually, this is part of the learning continuity plan of HRDD. No, this is already one of our plans this year to conduct an orientation for this competency standard to guide our school heads and our supervisors. So that's it, no? Ano ba yung purpose nito? Why we are conducting this orientation? So as stated in the regional memorandum, that we want to facilitate understanding of an appreciation for the Philippine professional standard for school heads and supervisors on the career stages. No? So may mga career stages ito, domains, strands, indicators, and means of verification, just like the PPST, no? The Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. And it's already used for 3 years already. So this time, the competency standards for school heads should be revised. No? Okay, so DepEd CO through BHROD made some adjustments and revisions of the competency standards, no? So this is in consistency with the PPST or the Teachers Development Framework. So it has domains or areas of work, strands, indicators, and career stages so as to determine the level of practice on instruction, leadership, and management. Now, the legal basis of this, of course, no, the very foundation of these competency standards is based on the policy guidelines on the performance management system, no, which is the DO or Department Order Number 2, Series 2015, no, also known as the result-based performance management system that articulates the efficiency of work, timeliness on the delivery of service, and the quality of work as indicators of performance for every personnel, teaching or non-teaching. So as a general knowledge, DepEd sets its vision and mission to articulate the goals of the organization. So in the mission, specifically the mission of the school heads, no? School administrators and staff who are the school heads and as stewards, no? So binanggit kanina ni ARD, stewards, kayo po ang nag-guide. Stewards of the institution ensure an enabling and supportive environment for effective learning to happen. So parang yan sa mission statement, no, para sa mga school heads. Now, the set of competencies were developed to meet the expectations of the mission statement. So nakikita ninyo sa screen, meron po tayong iba't ibang set of competencies. Okay? We have the PPSS, and that is for the supervisors, the Philippine Professional Standards for Supervisors, another competencies for the school heads, that is Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. Then for the teachers is PPST, Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. And soon, the competencies for non-teaching personnel. I guess BHROD is working for the finalization of the competencies for non-teaching personnel. So as said, this set of competencies were developed to meet the expectations of the mission statement that would contribute to the realization of our goals and to hit our vision in the department. So PPST for teachers, no, specifically to teach effectively and deliver quality instruction. PPSH for the school heads to lead the school on instruction and develop its people for professional development. The PPSS for supervisors to provide technical assistance to school heads and teachers. And soon, the non-teaching personnel with a well-defined functions to support the teaching and teaching-related personnel, which will redound later on to the performance of learners. Therefore, competencies are essentials for our performance, no? So kamakailan, the result of the PPST from teachers, we BHROD organize and for the data collection. And what's the purpose of this? To see the gaps, no? To see the gaps and to provide intervention to the field. And that's the purpose why there was a collection of data of the PPST RPMS. Okay, so we all know that the competency standards for school heads used to have the NCBSH or the National Competencies Standards for School Heads, no? And then for the teachers, yan ay NCBTS, no? So luma na siya, binago natin kasi it's no longer responsive, no, to the 21st century. And then binago din natin yung
kayang-kaya yan. Pero may magbuhat sa ako.
NCBSH to PPSH. No? So dati, it's National Quality Standard for School Heads. In fact, okay, may I request to mute the microphone, the one who is talking. Okay, so all right, to continue, school heads underwent a course before, no? The school head development program, and we used to have that NCBCHS. And dati, there were 7 domains. 7 domains. Ngayon, nilamp na siya, nagiging 5 domains na lang, itong PPSH. So, if you remember, we conducted SHDP for 4 tranches, di ba? And we started last 2016 and ended 2018. And this was the requirement to become a full-fledged school principal. Ngayon, nagiging ano na siya, PPSSH or the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. So, binago siya to equip our principals with the 21st century skills, no? And to provide support to teachers. Now, since the quality of an education cannot exceed the quality of its teachers, according to McKinsey, so there is a need to establish a collaborative system in which school heads are responsive to the professional development needs of the teachers. So this entails the development of professional standards for school heads to ensure that they are productively contributing to the delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating basic education. And at the same time, this competency standards, revised competency standards for school heads, is anchored to ASEAN integration and globalization. Now, we are on a pandemic, no? We are experiencing this pandemic, and to date, cases is almost 300,000. So it's quite it's worsening. The situation is worsening. So that's why we need to have extra careful with ourselves and to our loved ones, no? Now with the COVID-19, so it pushes the implementation of the LDM. So therefore, these competencies, no, have a role in the implementation of LDM. So, so school heads will apply these competencies, no, as they lead the teachers in the delivery of instruction to learners. So instructional leadership can be best observed, especially as stated on domain number 3, focusing on teaching and learning. Okay, so the choice of LDM, for example, in school, as stated in the BALCP, is one of the functions of the school heads in terms on decision making, based on the survey conducted by the school to inform the community on the learning modality. No, now for every teacher's success is a school head. No, behind the success of the teacher is a school head in helping every teacher to attain her plans and targets and achieving her goals. So coaching a teacher, for example, is a mechanism providing TA, especially teachers who are in need. And this is articulated in domain number 4, which is developing self and others. So these challenges that we are facing right now will become an opportunity. So before I leave, no, as a school head, we need to master our roles and responsibilities. We need to have mastery, no? So we need to nurture ourselves first, no, so that it would radiate to our teachers. So let me share this quotation accordingly, that before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. So that's all for this morning of my my task to give the statement of purpose. So God bless everyone and good morning. Back to you, Gina.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Raymond, for the words of direction for the whole session of this webinar orientation. So in his uh, presentation, in his statement, we learn that in the PPSSH, there are 5 domains and there are 35 strands. And those things will be discussed by our resource speakers later. So once again, thank you so much, Sir Chief Raymond S. Antolo of the HRDD DepEd Region 10. Now, the next who is going to share to us about the overview of the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads, or what we call the PPSH, is the leader on the creation of such competency standards in collaboration with the RCTQ team. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very proud to have the OIC to the Office of the Director 3 of the BHROD, no other than Director Jennifer E. Lopez. Director, let's clap our
Hello.
hands for Ma'am Jello.
Hello. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning po,
Good
Ma'am
morning.
Gina.
Good morning,
Yes
Hi.
Sir Jen.
po.
Thank you very
Of
much.
course,
Thank
kay
you kayo.
ART Victor at saka kay HRD Chief,
Oh,
si Sir Raymond, and of course our friends there, si Bodong Ener and si Sir Rex na i-invite din namin yan. So as
yeah.
far as I know, ang mga makikinig po sa atin ngayon ay ang ating mga minamahal na principals. Tama? Ano po?
Yes po.
Alright. So I just don't know if I have already shared my screen.
Not yet
Na-share
po.
na po yung screen ko.
Wala pa, wala pa.
Uh,
Okay.
Not yet. Okay, so one more try. Wait a minute. Meron na? Meron na po?
Wala pa, wala pa.
May nakikita na kayo sa screen? O wala pa rin?
Wala pa po, wala pa.
Meron. Wala pa rin? Oh, yan. The problem with technology. So sorry. Oh, I think I need to remove my video. Okay. So minsan factor po 'yon pag
Oh, yeah.
bumabagal ang net, you need to remove your video. Last try. Meron na, wala pa rin.
Wala, wala pa po. Okay, for a while lang ha, mga participants.
Okay. So kung wala naman, pwede namang pagkwentuhan na lang natin. Kaya mas maganda kung nakikita nyo.
Nandyan na po, nandyan na.
Andyan po tayo. Kasi akala ko schedule ko is 10, so pinamove natin lahat.
Ay, wala na naman. Yung slide.
Andyan na, wala pa ho.
Wala pa rin, ma'am.
Is it there already?
Presenting now.
Ayan na.
Bakit kaya? And then may nag-raise ng hand, si Rowena. Nagkataon lang bang nag-raise ng hand yan or ano? So, sige. Okay na, Dodong. Okay. So, pero hindi ko siya nakikita ha. Kung in my screen, I can... Okay. Okay? Ba't di ko siya nakikita? Alright. Anyway, so, ikwento ko na lang po muna to kung ganitong
Hindi niya makita yung slides niya.
yung nakikita sa screen ko. Kanina yung RPS, so, the Philippine Professional Standard. Ang mahalaga, malakas ang boses ko. Malakas po ba yung boses ko? I'll just share my PowerPoint. Gano'n na lang. Dodong? Can I just share my PowerPoint with you? Dong?
J-Lo?
Yeah, can you hear me? Kasi
Yes,
di ko
ma'am.
alam kung nakikita yung yung slide ko. Gusto mo share ko sa'yo yung PowerPoint ko?
Pwede. I think we have the same slides.
Hindi pa nakikita, no? Nakikita ba?
Not the full display.
Nakikita na
Sige,
po siya.
napapatingin
Kailangan na
siya.
siya i-slideshow.
Sige, pa-share.
Nakikita na siya, pero kailangan lang na i-slideshow siya. Sa baba.
Nakikita na siya, kinakailangan lang i-slideshow.
Kailangan lang siya, i-slideshow siya. Nandun, oo.
The problem is,
You cannot see your
it in my
slide.
screen. I only see the face of
Hindi niya makita yung screen niya.
Yun nga po. I cannot see my slide. I can only see the face of Dong. Okay, that's the problem.
Pwede niya
Okay,
puntahan.
sige. So, sige, mag-share na lang si Dodong dyan ng anything and then I'll just keep on talking. Ayan, may malakas na sound. What is that? Alright. So, for your information po, as long as you can hear me, okay? Dong, just share, just share our slide. If that's the same, the one that we use in the orientation. Kasi
Yes, ma'am.
hindi ko makita. And then I'll just give you an overview of the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads.
Okay.
Like the Philippine Professional Standards for supervisors.
Hindi niya makita, kaya wala niya napindot.
And the Philippine Professional Standards for teachers. Ang standards ay hindi po ito RPMX. Okay, so lilinawin lang po natin with the existence of the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development in 2016, so 3 taon pa lang po ang Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development. So finally, there's a bureau now who's thinking of how to take care of the DepEd personnel, which is by now roughly 1 million. We're nearly 1 million, and we represented almost 52% of the entire government bureaucracy. Ganun po tayo kalaki. So finally, may nag-iisip na how to strengthen our human capital, take care of our people, pangalagaan ang mga pangangailangan ng empleyado, while at the same time thinking of quality, maximizing organizational performance. I'm aware that all of us are looking for this system in the Department of Ed. Kahit nga ang personal kong kwento, siguro narinig nyo na sa ilang mga encounter natin in the field, is that ilang taon ako nag-a-apply sa DepEd during my time. I graduated in 1994, so 2000 lang yata, 2001 lang yata ako natanggap. What's the reason behind? Dito sa probinsya namin, dahil wala akong kamag-anak sa DepEd. So with the existence of Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development. So finally, may mag-aalaga na at may mag-iisip na isang bureau kung paano sa pagpasok pa lang nito sa gobyerno, kung ito man ay Department of Education, so from entry to exit, so yun yung mga polisiya na inilalagay natin. So yung entry, pagpasok mo dito, recruitment pa lang, selection, placement, and induction. Kahit nga induction, hinahanap ko yan sa Department of Education before. So parang, bahala ka na lang na to do it on your own, right? So dapat may framework for quality sa hiring. Hindi dahil malakas ka lang kung kanino. Something like that. Okay? And then once na nasa system ka na, so ito yung dash, parang buhay natin bilang isang tao. So doon po papasok yung another HR system. The first one is entry, di po ba? Recruitment, selection, induction. Para alam na pagpasok sa sistema, ito naman yung babantayan natin. Hindi pag napapasok sa gobyerno, ano yung pwede na? Kahit agawin natin, okay na kasi may. So finally, the existence of PHROD and with the introduction of the standards for teachers, diba? Na-improve po ito eh. Alam niyo naman ang pinagdaanan ng Philippine Professional Standards for teachers tayo to how to assess the performance of our people. Diba? Base sa kung ano talaga, yun po yun. And then, habang nasa sistema ka rin, ang iba na napapagkamalan na tayo ng Department of Training, pero striking of anywhere. Diba? So ngayon, with the standards then, with the issuance of that order number 2 series of 2020, so sa NEAP. So ang NEAP naman, ang pinakang task is to provide, hindi lang training, learning and development intervention. Learning and development intervention, anything na makakatulong sa'yo para humusay ka, para maging mahusay kang empleyado ng gobyerno sa trabaho mo. So yun po yung L&D, na-align din dapat doon sa framework for quality. So kung magkakaroon man tayo ng mga learning and development intervention, and training is only one of them, dapat aligned sa standards. Expected na you do yung kung guru ka, kung supervisor ka, kung director ka, kung SBS ka, so ito yung framework for quality. Hindi yung alam, ano kaya yung trabaho ko? Nakasalalay lang sa kung ano yung utos. Not like that. And then finally, na HR system, nakapapat na po tayo. Alam niyo yan because we have prime HRM. Yun ang isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit sa CEO ay natatagalan kami. Kasi we're still currently laying the groundwork of all the percentages. At kailan lang ba ang nung 2017. So, isa. And huli po, banggitin ko muna, is rewards and recognition. Wala na pa kaming overall policy din sa central office ng rewards and recognition. Para itong mga ma-recognize natin, magyan natin ng rewards, right, ay talagang doon dapat mag-benchmark yung ating mga kasamahang guro, principal, o supervisor. Kasi siya yung standard, sila yung mga nakarating sa career stage 4. So, currently, we're still developing that at the CO level. Kung mapapansin nyo, pag nagre-recommend sa mga outstanding, right, outstanding teacher, supervisor, principal, lahat recommend pa namin at this point sa civil service. Kasi wala pa R&R policy sa civil. So once na in place na yan, so kahit sa schools din, yung SDM namin, tinitingnan nila dapat may school effectiveness standards. Okay? So para once na-recognize na yan, later on pag dumating sa panahon na yan, so ito dapat ang meron sa some school. What makes a school effective? So ganun po yung kwento, ha? And then question din po, mas na-streamline. Mas na-streamline yung ating standards for school heads. What does it mean? Before, bakit ko nasabi yon? Habang gumagawa tayo ng examination for principals, lahat kasi ng indicators dyan, ginagawa natin ng mga 210 po yan. Lahat. 210, then 7 domains. And then, nung inanalyze natin, saksi si Dodong dyan, at isa siya sa membro ng technical working group, ay talagang kinakailangan na itong, dahil tayo din naman until now, currently, ang akala natin, nung nasa field din ako, kahit passer din ako ng principal, parang yung principal nakafocus lang dun sa isang bahagi at nalilimutan na yung isang napaka-importanteng bahagi na yung ipangalagaan din ng kanyang empleyado, ang kanyang mga kaguruan. So ganon, yun yung kwento na kung bakit may mga ganitong reforms, pagbabago sa sistema. Ano ang gamit ng standards? Ang standards for teachers, then later on itong school heads, and later on itong supervisors, ay i-embed na pa natin lahat ng HR kasi ito yung ating framework balangkas para sa isang kalidad at mahusay na manggagawang Pilipino na never na nagawa sa sistema natin, sa Department of Education. Yes, we do all remember may mga pasag pa, NCBTS na 170 indicators, right? NCBSSH. But yan ay one size fits all. Kaya bago kang guro, kaya bago kang principal, iisa ang panukat na gagamitin sa'yo. You are expected to be like that. Kaya nga naman pag performance rating na, sasabihin sa'yo, I don't know if you have experienced this, sasabihin sa'yo, bago ka palang guro o bago ka palang principal, wala kang karapatan maging outstanding. Personally, I have experienced, dapat ganon, di ba? So what if, develop, beginning ka pa lang, pero you're already demonstrating all these outstanding indicators, right? They're already outstanding performance in this particular indicators. So, indicator na yun, di ba? Para makita mo, madali na itong, madali itong mag-grow. Madali itong husay. Siguro mga 1 taon lang, pwede na itong maging proficient. Ganon. So, nakikita natin yung progress. So, ang kwento nito, kung naririnig nyo rin, meron tayong proposal ngayon na career progression at kasabay nito ay ang career progression din ng principal. So lahat pong ito ay may gamit. So isa yun sa rewards and recognition as well. So hindi na maghihintay na nasa malayong school ako. Nasa malayong lugar ako, hindi ako makopromote. Ngayon, as long as you have met the standards, kahit na nasa eskwelahan ka, kahit nasa far-flung area ka, you will get the chance to be promoted. Because you deserve it. Naipakita mo hindi dahil malakas ka lang kung kanino. I know it's not magic, but ito po yung na-visualize natin na dapat na mangyari the Department of Education. Kasi it boils down with the quality. Yung mga magagaling na guro, magagaling na principal, anong nangyayari? Nawawala sa school, nawawala sa classroom. Sino natira sa school? Sino natitira sa class? Then we're expecting quality. So yung quality education, yun yung, siguro kung nanood kayo ng budget hearing, lahat tayo nasaktan doon, di ba? Nakakalungkot. So ano ba talaga yung kulang? So, banggit kanina, basically because the quality of any system, including our HR or education system, kaya sabi ko, na-appreciate ko ang existence ng BHROD kahit pa paano talagang, ito pala ang kulang. Ito pala ang kulang sa ahensyang pinabibilangan ko ngayon. Okay, let me reiterate. The quality of any system, including our education system, cannot exceed the quality of its people, human resource, human capital. Do you agree? The quality of any system cannot exceed the quality of people that we allow to end and to stay in the system. At kung sakali man po may mga makalusot pa rin, ng effort na ito, I know it's not magic, nagtatanim pa lang. Ang buhay talaga, we coexist with evil. But at least, we're doing something for this quality to happen. Sulong edukalidad. Ganun po tayo kaseryoso sa gusto nating mangyari sa Department of Education. Alright, so Dodong, na-share mo na ba? So ano daw ba ang sikreto ng top school systems of all over the world? Siguro ilang beses niyo na itong nakita. Tatlo lang naman eh. Tatlo lang. What makes a school effective? Simple lang. Sabi sa pag-aaral ni McKinsey. Anong sabi? Getting the right people to become teachers. At si principal may malaking role para makuha ang mahusay na tao, mahusay na okay? And then, once na nasa school system na, resulta po yun ng matinding pag-aaral ng lahat ng effective schools all over. Pag nasa school na, ano gagawin mo bilang school head? Develop your people. Develop them to become more effective teachers. Develop them into becoming effective instructors. That's the exact word. Okay? So, how to develop them? Alam niyo na yun. Kaya kayo nag-o-observe. The purpose of performance monitoring or RPMS is not to threaten them. Hindi para takutin sila. Ang intent nito ay tulungan man sila at makita kung kumusta sila. How are we doing so far? Kasi matagal na sa gobyerno na meron mang ganito, pero for compliance. Alam nating lahat yan. We cannot deny that fact, right? Kanya-kanya tayong sulat ng performance rating natin. Alam na. Ngayon, ina-assess na natin base sa kung ano talaga ang trabaho mo, framework for quality, iyon yun. And then, pag may nakita tayong mga demographics, yung mga nagsilang Philippine exam, tawag ng PPSS. Ang tawag doon ay governmental opportunities. For to do, kasi habang nagwara tayo humusay gumaling. So, ganang systemic, tulungan. Develop these people to become better teachers. Kaya pumapasok yung hindi lang training ang dapat na alam natin na intervention. Ano ang mga learning and development intervention na ibibigay ko sa mga tao ko, sa mga teachers ko sa school? Gayong alam kong na ito ang kanila mga developmental opportunities. Yun din ang dahilan kung bakit may self-assessment. Diba? Hindi rin yun for compliance, please. Matindi ang intent natin kung bakit may ganon. Yung self-assessment test, para sa guro, para mag-reflect siya, kasi Domain 7 is for them to assume responsibility for personal growth and professional development. It's their responsibility, but as well, tayo bilang leader na nakikita natin lahat yon. So, once na you have the data, based on the data, ano kaya maganda na learning and development intervention sa kanila na ipapasok ko sa learning action cell? Meron doong kaya mong ibigay bilang school head, meron doong kayang ibigay ng supervisors, at meron din naman doong kayang ibigay ng mga master teachers mo o ng grupo ng guru mo doon, or you can tap the universities in your locality. It depends. You know best. You're the leader. Okay. Intent, maging mahusay na kawal, maging mahusay na guro, no matter what the context of the situation is. And finally, ang secret number 3, according to McKinsey, is to ensure that the system, HR system, basta line manager ka at ikaw bilang principal, you are a line manager. You must ensure that the system is available to help your people, to help your teachers to become the best version of themselves every day. And ready to teach with quality, motivated. Kasi natulungan mo, na-guide mo, diba? Na-manage, na-lead yung mga tao into become the best version of themselves every day. The exact word of McKinsey there is to ensure that the system is able to deliver the best possible instruction for every child. Ganun lang. Simple lang yung sikreto ng top school systems all over the world that we consider in the development of the Philippine professional standards for school heads. At ito nga ang naiisip ko, nasi-share ko kina Dodong din na once itong standards for school heads ay finally signed and embedded in all of the HR systems, finally lahat ng mga principal sa buong Pilipinas ay gagalaw ayon sa kung ano ang nararapat. And in that manner, nasa inyo po ang pag-asa namin. Ganun, we have high hopes in you. If you know how to develop your people, to manage your people, at the same time your school. Yung mantra ng BHROD, inilapat namin sa standards for school heads. Kaya yung mga domains nyo ay being clustered into 2. Okay? Ano yung cluster 1? Effective people and effective school yung cluster 2. So yung dalawang yon laging magkapantay. You are developing your people, you are taking care of your people in order to ensure school performance is school success. Yun lang ang intent. Ginagawa mo yon para sa school success, learners pa rin. Pasok dun sa vision. So it's not easy to lay the groundwork of all the HR systems in place. Until now, nasa opisina na ng ating mahal na secretary ang policy, and hopefully ay lumabas na siya anytime soon. At least na doon na sa level na yon at tapos na kami sa mga ipapang dapat na gawin o isaalang-alang para finally it's already ready for her signature. So once na lumabas na yon, so napakaswerte nyo, nauna po kayo. Ang team ay ipapasok na po ito sa lahat ng HR systems. Okay? Pero ang intent noon ay para mas matulungan kayo na humusay na school head. Dahil ang mahusay na school head, siya ang magdadala o mag-produce ng mahuhusay na guro, at ang mahuhusay ng guro, natural, ang magpo-produce ng mahuhusay na bata. Alright? So, ang dami ng slide ko dito, pero I don't know kung may na-share na si Dodong doon. Dodong, ano din ang na-share mo? May na-share ka ba, Dodong? So for your information, nabanggit po sa World Bank report. Okay, if you can see my slide there, but unfortunately, ang hirap ay pakita. According to the World Bank report, where the necessity to focus on human capital was mentioned. So imagine that. So the World Bank report was published in April 2019, and also in 2019, the Department of Education is already nearing the 1 million mark in terms of number of employees, with more than 800,000 of them being teachers. For your information, how many public schools do we have nationwide? We do have 47,025 public schools as of my last counting. And then ilan po dito ang private schools? Kahit ngayon, ang ginagawa namin policy ay paano matutulungan yung mga teachers na displaced private school teachers. So lahat diyon, kahit private school teachers, iniisip din po ng office ng Undersecretary for Human Resource and Organizational Development. So ano yung pwede nating maibigay na ayuda sa kanila for them to survive. So we do have 14,562 private schools, and based on the latest report ay parang nasa 865 pa lang naman yung nagsara. So ano yung tulong natin sa kanila? So ganun tayo karami. So roughly as of my last counting last year, patong data ko, is 966,397 plus tayo. Okay? And 800,000 plus dyan ay teachers. So nabanggit po ang PPST sa kanilang report. Oh, may narinig po akong iba. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can. Pwede na po dili mo.
Alright.
Ano ko yung hard copy?
I'm sorry, hello?
Hello po, Ma'am J. Pargan. Will you please turn off your microphone?
Akala ko may ibang speaker. Okay, so kahit walang slide, yung slide naman ng standards ay makikita nyo lahat yan kay Dodong. So sa kwento po tayo, more on how important it is in the existence of the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development in the Department of Education. And then later on, ano ang magiging gamit nito sa buhay natin bilang isang mahusay na kawani ng gobyerno. Okay? So, in the World Bank report, they have mentioned that PPST has a significant role in the policy reform in the Philippines. Okay? So, and also, I would like to remind you that PPST is a significant policy adopted by the Department of Education, and that all must continue in ensuring its effective implementation in the field. And for it to be effectively implemented in the field, it lies on the principals, of course. And then, of course, hindi po sapat yun. There is a need to complement the standards for teachers, right? So that's while teachers are guided by the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, other support systems must also be in place to complement and support teacher quality. Hence, yan, naririnig nyo na kahit wala pa yung policy at hindi pa signed, but we do hope within this month, anytime soon, it will be signed by the Secretary. Hence, the introduction of the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. Why? So, ano po ang dahilan? Because there is a need to review and enhance or redevelop the current standards for school heads. Nabanggit na yung ilan ni Sir Raymond kanina. Okay, aside from the fact that it would address career progression para yung P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay, pag sinabing P4 ka, okay, ikaw na yung Lodi. Diba? Ito yung ating layman's term by now. Talagang ikaw na yung monumento namin. Sa'yo na magbe-benchmark lahat. Ikaw na ang aspiration ng lahat. I'd like to be like you. Okay? So kasi you possess, okay, the embodiment of what an effective school leader must be. Okay? So, and of course, yung kind of thinking, lifelong skills, I do not want to mention that, not necessarily 21st, what if 22nd na? Okay? I want it to be timeless. Right? So, yun po. And then, tulad na nabanggit ko noon, wala pong, hindi po developmental yung ating NCBSSH. Aside from the fact na in numbers, 210 indicators po ito with 7 domains, it is not developmental in nature. It's a one-size-fits-all standards, aside from the fact that it's not embedded in the HR systems during that time. Okay? And then another issue there is that, I'd like to show you, if you have the slide there, siguro ba maipakita ni Dodong later on that, yung ating current NCBSSH ay meron doong nakalagay na multitasking. Right, Dodong? And I do hope habang nakikinig kayo nito, ang challenge lalo na nito sa virtual webinar is at naka-off ang iyong video, you can do many things at the same time. And when you do many things at the same time, you get distracted until such time na ano nga yung sinabi. Yun nga magkakaharap na tayo eh. Diba? Diba? Yung utak mo pwedeng maglakbay yan. Right? Nakalagay doon, ang sabi, sa current standards natin for school heads, observes and applies multitasking in giving assignments. Imagine that. It's written in the NCBSSH, the current one. So isa po yun sa inalis natin. Imagine that. Nasa old framework. At base sa pag-aaral, research shows that aside from the fact that it slows you down, multitasking lowers your IQ. A study at the University of London found that participants who multitask during cognitive task experienced IQ score declines that were similar to what they'd expect if they had smoked marijuana, oh my God, yung pang ginamit, or stayed up all night, nagpuyat, kapapanood ng Netflix, no? And then IQ drops of 15 points for multitasking men lowered their scores to the average range of an 8-year-old child. Pero very proud tayo na nagmo-multitask tayo. And we have to admit that fact that when you do multitasking, ang trabaho natin hindi kalidad. Okay? So that's one of the main reasons why we need to really review the existing standards for school heads. Okay? Aside from having no career stages, the NCBB, the current standards for school heads also needs to undergo review to know if there are indicators that go against the recent research, like that of the indicators on multitasking. All right? Okay, so paano na-develop yung standards? I'd like to share with you the quote from OECD, okay, about the key role that school leadership plays. And I do hope you agree with this quote. Ang sabi, school leadership plays a key role in improving school outcomes by influencing the motivations and capacities of teachers, as well as the school climate and environment. Once upon a time, we're all teachers. We all started as teachers. And I just don't know how your school leaders had influenced you in one way or another. Okay? So ganun ka-importante ang school leadership in complementing teaching and learning. Okay? So why professional standards? Ulit kami dito, pero for emphasis, dahil marami yata nakikinig ngayon, and I do hope hindi ako nag-choppy. Please give me an acknowledgement if I don't, Ma'am Gina. Internationally, school leadership quality is articulated in professional standards for school heads. The Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads draws from the principles of effective leadership practices, both locally and internationally. Okay, ganun na po yung tina-target natin kung meron ng Philippine Qualifications Framework, okay, yung Asians Qualifications Framework of international ano natin okay? Citizenship natin global citizenship na yung tina-target natin. Okay? So therefore, magkakaroon na tayo ng like that of teachers. There would be later on a public statement that sets out what school heads are expected to know. Ano ba talaga dapat ang alam mo, understand, and do to succeed in your work. Now you would be having a common language on high impact school leadership and a picture of quality school head, quality learning, quality leadership, and quality management. So yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na later on, yung mga kung sa standards for teachers, yung teacher sa Region 1 hanggang Region 10 or Region 12, iisa ang inaasahan nating kalidad. Ganon din pagdating sa school head. Okay? So dumaan po ito sa matinding pag-aaral. It underwent is a product of a rigorous and robust quantitative and qualitative research like that of the PPST. It shares the local international documents such as the DepEd orders, media discourse, and international leadership frameworks that covered more than 70 jurisdictions were reviewed and analyzed. So yan po yung pinagawa namin sa team, sa technical working group. Ganon-ganon din kasi ang pinagdaanan ng standards for teachers. Also, I'd like to highlight that stakeholders across the country, mula Apare hanggang Hulo, played a crucial role from consultations to the validations. And I'd like to mention as well that the psychometric studies of indicators use the Rash model for the quantitative data, which will be shared later for I think by Dodong, and Vivo for the qualitative data. If you can see my slide, I'd like to introduce you the advisory board at si RD Art po ay kasama o miyembro ng ating advisory board. Okay, si RD Cabral, si Dr. Cruzada, si former RD Juliet Heruta, si Ma'am Gemma Ledesma, si RD Gemma Ledesma, ang dati nating USEC, si Prof. Juan Miguel Luz, ang former director of BHROD, si Ma'am Malu Pantoja, RD of Bicol, si RD Gilbert Sadsad, at ang former RD ng Calabarzon na ngayon ay USEC na natin, si USEC Dad San Antonio, at ang RD ng Region 8, si RD Ramir Oitico. At ang co-chair, kaming dalawa ni Director John Arnold Siena. So ano po ang role ng advisory board? Bakit may ganun pa? We provide fresh perspectives on various matters. Kasi as technical working group, masyado na tayong myopic minsan kung ano lang yung nasa data natin. So yun lang, ito na to. Ganun yung ang drama ng team na yan. Talagang naandun ang kanilang mga palitan ng mga maanghang na salita din noon. Naalala ni Domi, mga walk out pa silang nalalaman. Kasi it's intellectual battle. Okay? And then so after nun, babalik sila sa drawing board, sulat ulit. And then pero yung ginawa nila, pagdating sa advisory board, tama ba to? Baka may nalimutan kasi. Okay? Yung mga hindi nila na-capture, so the advisory board can provide fresh perspectives on various matters. They could direct thinking to issues that may not be on the radar of the research team. And to ensure that the work is relevant to DepEd and the wider school community. Okay, so ang members po ng technical working group, I'm very proud to introduce you, of course, si Dr. Enerio Bisa, ang principal sa Iligan City. Pabay ka, So kaya siya napakaswerte nyo. Okay? Nauuna na kayo. So kung meron kayong mga direktang tanong kung ano ba ang nilalaman ng standards for school heads, si Ener ay within reach sa Region 10. And we're very thankful sa Region 10 for sharing with us the expertise of Dodong Ener. Okay, at yan, mga naging kaibigan na namin. Of course, si Dr. Fillmore Caballero, dating principal, ngayon ay siya ay chief na sa Valenzuela, CLMD chief. Si Dr. Luz Osmeña, na dating OICA SDS ng Bacoor, na ngayon ay bumalik na sa region bilang HRDD chief. Ang principal ng isang maliit na school, kaya nga combination to ng maliit, malaking school, itong nasa members ng TWG. Si Lou Argamosa sa Bicol naman, from Region 5, at si Sarah Ganancial, na principal naman ng Gibaras, Region 6. So 5 po sila. So parang tigigisa lang silang domains, no? Na talagang nagbuno dito. Okay, para nagbigay ng lahat ng kanilang karunungan, ng kanilang pagod, okay, para lang ma-ensure na itong standards or framework for quality for school head ay maisayos. Kasi alam nila kung anong magiging gamit ng standards na ito later on sa lahat ng HR systems. Okay, na gagamitin sa buong Pilipinas. So, okay, so ano yung mga activities conducted? Hindi ko na siguro i-share. Ang tanong nyo siguro, sasabihin nyo, consult ba ang mga stakeholders? Were key stakeholders involved in the process of development and validation of the standards for school heads? Yes. National organizations such as PESPA, NAPSHI, PSDSA, and SGOD-CAP were part of the reviewers. Thousands of stakeholders, including learners, parents, teachers, school heads, supervisors, DepEd regional directors, and other educators across all regions na tanong. Okay? So, matinding pag-aaral po ito. So, how did we validate the standards? Okay? So, philosophical basis for validation. Bakit kinakailangan pang i-validate? So, nasulat na i-validate pa. Ano ang nasa isip namin? Okay? In order to capture the voice of the majority of the school heads, your voice of school heads across the country, having the document undergone 3 stages of validation. Siguro naman, we're proud to say. Kaya nga, ganun din kahit pa sabihin na isubmit na namin sa office ng secretary, babalik pa sa amin, may mga tanong, depensa pa rin, consult rin ang TWG, hanggang nag-iinit na yung ulo ng mga, ninadodong, ano ba ma'am, di pa rin pa ba sila? Until such time that we have finally convinced them that this is it. Okay? Kahit pa dumaan pa yan sa inyong lahat, pagdating sa amin, hindi pa rin yun ganun kadali. So what's our philosophical basis for validation, aside from capturing your voices? A well-designed psychometric study with significant input from school heads is the best way forward in the development of professional standards. A targeted validation study helps ensure the relevance of the standards to your work as principals. And professional standards that captures principals' voices and addresses your views and needs can help alleviate most concerns about professional standards. Yun po ang dahilan. At mapalad tayo at tinutulungan tayo ng Philippine National Research Center for Teacher Quality in doing all of this. Sa tagal ko rin sa DepEd bilang trainer ng K-12, my work with RCTQ, okay, is really incomparable. Okay, so yun yung paglalabas ka doon na alam mo, you'll be proud and you'll be confident na ang gawa mo ay hindi pinag-isipan ng overnight lang. And then the following day, iro-roll out mo na yun na yun. Dumaan to sa butas ng karayom. And I'm proud to say that. And I'm proud to be part of it. Okay? So hindi mo na makita ang mga pictures. Si Dodong na lang ang mga magpapakita mamaya. Ano yung mga issues na in-address sa validation? Relevance, difficulty, appropriateness, preparedness and development priority, familiarization and professional acceptance, implementation and resourcing priorities, even quality assurance, lahat yan. At ang ilan sa inyo, alam ko, ay naging bahagi nitong validation na to. At nang lumabas po yung reliability summary, yung item reliability ay 0.82 at case reliability ay 0.93, ay nag-iyakan niyang team. Hindi nila ganun katindi, numbers. Okay, the numbers can already speak, okay, on how strong the standards for school heads are. Okay, it received excellent reliability characteristics, meaning to say that school heads across the country agree that what the document is telling is indeed their work, trabaho namin yan. Ganun po taas ang reliability ng ating standards for school heads. All right, so and our considerations for national implementation, at maghintay-hintay kayo, pero dahil nauna na kayo, ewan ko, Chief Raymond, kinakailangan mo pa pang magkaroon pa ng another separate training pag once signed na into policy ang standards for school heads and supervisors. Pag narito na lahat ng principals ng Region 10, palagay ko, hindi na kailangan. I just don't know. Okay. Up to you. Okay, kung ano man ang kailangan siguro, tulungan na lang sila on how to progress from one career stage to the next. I am a principal 1 now, paano ba maging principal 2? Ang principal 2 ba, paramihan lang ng papel? No. Like that of what we're doing in the career progression for teachers, hindi lang paramihan ng papel yan, paramihan ng galing, pagalingan. At ang galing, alam na alam natin yan. Hindi yan nananakaw. Na kahit pikit ka pagharap mo sa classroom, right there and then, you can do it. Diba? You're of quality teachers, kaya may pandemic o wala, dahil dekalidad ka, you know what you're going to do. That's what we want, competency-based. Okay? Standards for school heads, teachers, and supervisors, regardless of the situation we're currently facing right now. Okay? And of course, there's a need for a systems approach. It's not magic. A systems approach stresses the interactive nature and interdependence of external and internal factors in an organization. In the Philippines, the PPST is the common core that is capable to be the basis of a system that can link with numerous elements na naikwento ko kanina. From entry to exit. From hiring, diba, to firing or to expiring. Kung paano ka man nag-expire sa system, whether you retire or you have been fired. Bakit nga ba walang na-fire? Because of security of tenure? No, not really. Because there's no proper HR systems implemented in place. Na kahit alam na natin, hindi mahusay ang kanyang trabaho, sinatsaga natin. Bakit? Kasi wala kang basehan. Diba? Wala tayong dahilan. Okay? But now, later on na pag nasa maayos na po lahat yan, ang lagi kong biro kinadodong is hopefully within our lifetime, lahat ng ito na sistemang to para lang magkaroon ng kalidad na edukasyon sa Pilipinas. At habang narito tayo ay gusto nating makita na ito ay in place. Anong intent? Mapalakas to strengthen our human capital. Na ang guro dito sa Pilipinas kayang ilaban sa buong mundo. At ang principal dito sa Pilipinas ay of equal, 'di ba? Quality compared to the principals globally. Okay? So ganun ang level natin. Kaya yung PISA sana, it's not magic anyway, base din sa pag-aaral, sabi nga, it would take 20 years, and I do hope na 20,000 years or more, yung change management to occur. Because it must be part of the culture. It must be part of the mindset. It must be part of the system within our system. Tayo mismo. Pero ang sabi ko nga, we're still positive about it na, yeah, it's not magic, but at least we're starting. Nagsisimula tayo. Okay? Hindi yung salita tayo na anong magagawa, at least nagtatanim tayo. So yeah, laying the groundwork, but we're seeing it as we're building a cathedral. Okay? Well, we're building something para sa kalidad ng edukasyon sa Pilipinas. Okay? So the same will be the case for the standards for school heads and the standards for supervisor. So kung ikaw ay magiging hepe, kung supervisor ka, o bukas naman yan, ang inaasahan sa'yo, nasa career stage 4 ka. Ikaw naman ang loaded dyan. Okay? Anong inaasahan sa isang pinakamahusay na supervisor? Na dun sa hepe. Okay? Yung baguang supervisor, yun yung career stage 1 and so on. Okay? So therefore, there would be alignment between the standards for teachers, standards for school heads to support, and the standards for supervisor. Ngayon, magtatrabaho na ang guro na nakafocus sa pagtuturo. Isa rin yan sa nakita ko dahil nasa amin din ang OD, sa tagal na nag-exist ng Department of Education, bakit nga ba walang non-teaching personnel? At tayo pa rin, nung ako'y teacher pa, tayo pa rin yung nagtitinda sa kantin, tayo pa rin yung, di ba, gumagawa ng mga secretary ng principal, nasa halip na nakapagtuturo ka lang. Okay, at ito yung experience ko when I happen to teach in one Singapore school, international school, abroad. Parang ang dami ng oras ko kasi ang ginagawa ko lang magturo. So yun, sabi ko, bakit ba ganon? Isa rin yun sa inalam ko. So yun pala, ang school, ang nakikreate lang na item ay school head. Teachers muna, kukuhain ng number ng bata, and then from there, malalaman kung ilan ang number na guro na kailangan, saka palang magkaka-school head, kaya nga TIC pa. So ngayon, yun po yung kaya kung napapansin nyo, dahan-dahan po tayo nag-request sa DBM na magkaroon ng mga non-teaching personnel. Ngayon pa rin lang po nagsisimula, kung may napapansin kayo, may 5,000 kaming lumabas. So in 5 years yata usapan namin sa OD naman yon. So para yung mga non-teaching task ay mabigay na dahan-dahan dito sa mga dapat ay trabaho ng hindi guro, dapat ay pang non-teaching personnel. Hindi po ulit ito magic, dahan-dahan pa lang, no? Kaya nga yun, sabay-sabay. So itong mga teachers, ang intent natin later on, so hanggat hindi pa na fully realize itong gusto natin na magkaroon ng complete staffing of non-teaching personnel sa mga school systems, ay magkaroon ng equivalency, workload equivalency. Ewan ko lang kung nailabas na ng planning to. So isa to sa mga inayos po natin na para lang kasi ang intent doon, ang teacher makapagturo lang sa classroom. Ang mga principal, maging principal talaga at hindi iutos yung trabaho nila doon sa guro. At yung supervisors, ganun din. Hindi iutos yung trabaho nila sa principal para yung principal iutos yung trabaho sa guro. So yung trabaho natin, magpakahusay tayo sa kung ano talaga yung trabaho natin na inaasahan sa atin. Yun yung intent ito. And only in that manner that we would be able to strengthen our human capital based on what is expected of you. Kung ikaw isang guro, magpakaguro ka. Kung ikaw isang principal, magpaka-principal ka. Mahusay na principal na naaayon sa standards expected of you. Yun po ang nabivisualize natin. Suportahan. Okay, the school is the core of the Department of Education, and everything else, all of us are here to support the school system. And we can only do that if we would be helping them strengthen. How to strengthen them? Okay, na andun yung HR systems, induction in the very beginning, o sa pagpasok pa lang, quality na. Hindi dahil sa malakas kung kay sino, di ba? Right? And then, na-induct properly. Okay, yung induction, importante, bubuksan mo ang kanyang kahusayan, no? Na naaayon din sa standards expected of him or her. Gano'n din ang principal, dapat may induction din. Okay? Kasi hindi mo rin alam, kahit ako, paano ba mag-manage ng resources, ng pera? Kaya siguro nagkakaroon ng kaso ang ibang principal dyan dahil naging principal na lang na hindi naman siya marunong maghawak ng pera before. Right? Na andun din po yan, managing resources. Okay? So yun yung lahat ng bagay na yun, nakikita natin na yun ang magiging picture ng nagkakasuportahan. And then si supervisor naman, i-ensure niya ng lahat ng resources, maayos ang curriculum, lahat ng resources from K to 12, regardless of modality, available para ibigay na tulong sa principal at si principal naman ibigay na tulong sa kanyang mga kaguruan. At sa presentation ni RD Art kahapon, ang ganda-ganda. Okay, nagkaroon kayo ng tulungan ng mas maganda yon na parang whole region approach or whole division approach na yung lahat ng online itong mga schools na magkakatulungan. I really love that. And then meron kayong rewards and recognition in place. Sabi ko, so meron nagre-rewards and recognition na sa baba. So hopefully tayo sa CO magkaroon din tayo ng rewards and recognition sino pinakamahusay din na school. So yan, pag-uusapan din namin yan later on. All right, so I do hope that reforms being initiated to assist the system in the performance of its mandate. So, hindi lang parang we're too busy. Marami na kaming ginagawa. No thanks. Okay? Meron sana akong illustration na ipakikita dito kay Flintstones pa na ino-ofera na si Flintstone ng wheel na bilog. Yung kanyang wheel ay square pa. Ang sabi ni Flintstone, no thanks. We are too busy. I do hope we are not like that. Okay? So, ang features ng standards for school heads, i-discuss na po yan in detail si Dodong. Okay, nag-overtime na ako kahit wala akong slides. Pasensya na. As what I have said, we do have 5 domains. At sa 5 domains, we divided those 5 domains into 2 clusters. People effectiveness and school effectiveness. As a principal, you should know how to take care of your people while at the same time thinking of maximizing your school performance and health. And all the details of which will be further discussed by, of course, I'm proud to introduce you, okay, ang nag-iisang Dodong Ener, okay, na mapalad kami na naging bahagi, okay, ng technical working group who work with us in the development of the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. Okay, that would be all. Thank you. I do hope I've understood something from my presentation kahit wala po akong slides. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Director Jenlo. So, grabe yung mga statements na binigay mo sa amin, no? Parang, grabe, well-motivated statements.
I do hope rinig po, ha? Oo.
Yes po,
malakas
yes
naman ang
po.
boses ko po.
Okay, so pakpakan naman natin si Director Jenlo, mga kapatid. In the Department of Education Region 10. So, lahat ng yung mga comments nandoon, nabasa ko sa... sa chat box, lahat-lahat nagpupuri sa iyo, Director. So sabi nila, yung gina-quote nila ay yung multitasking. So thank you so much daw. Sana mawala yung multitasking nila. No? So nacha-challenge din sila sa sinabi no na pag ikaw ay isang guro, magpakaguro ka. At saka pag principal ka, magpaka-principal ka. So, lahat yung mga statements mo talaga parang sa kanila, no, naka-motivate na sana yung sa standards na i-discuss ni Sir Dodong, no? So, ito lang ay overview lang po ito, mga kapatid. Okay, so once again, thank you so much. Yeah.
Before we
Sir Chief.
Sir Dodong, no, for the lengthy discussion about the PPSH. Alam ko na iba yung pakiramdam na tapos na yung yung ating product, yung document na dumaan ito sa hirap, sa pawis, siguro dugo, no? So,
pag-aaway, nag-aaway ang mga yan, sir,
congratulate, no? Nais naming, maibahagi ang aming warm congratulations to the entire team of Director Jello, especially PHROD for working so hard every day. I know that you have sleepless nights, no, nightmares in coming up with this.
At bahagi po kayo doon. Lagi kaming nasa region gamitin para mag-validate.
So
Yes.
we transform NAIAP, but we also like to commend that our school heads later on will be transformed. As NAIAP transforms, then our people also behind will also transform through BHROD's
Salamat
effort.
po. Salamat
Yes,
po.
congratulations, J-Lo. No, siguro ang kasunod siguro nito, Director J-Lo, although mailatad na itong ating mga competencies for the school heads, ang susunod na siguro na hakbang ay siguro yung papaano natin sila i-measure yung
Yes,
performance.
that's
So
right.
we'll be coming up siguro with a tool, just like with the PPSS, we have the COT and SAT. So just like that, siguro yung students magkakaroon
So i-announce ko rin, Sir Raymond, baka excited daw sila sa sa RPMS for teachers. Pero I'm sure na share na naman to ni Kaloy. Si Kaloy nasa amin din, alam niyo naman, 'di ba? So we're also adjusting the HR systems. Okay, kahit yung RPMS for teachers sa panahon ng pandemya, so wait kayo, hindi kami magmamadaling i-announce yan at isabay sa opening of classes. Okay? So just wait and see at makikita nyo hindi ito gano'n kahirap i-accomplish pero yung quality na andun pa rin. So wait lang. So don't panic, hindi yan sasabay sa opening of classes ang announcement. Okay, but you'll know how to target that later on.
Again, congratulations, you leave a legacy.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Sir Raymond.
Okay, teka muna, Director Jello, allow us to read the certificate of recognition. Okay, we prepared this, no? So, certificate of recognition is presented to Director Jennifer E. Lopez for the valuable contribution as our resource speaker during the webinar orientation to the competency of Philippine professional standards for school heads via Facebook Live at Department of Education, Region 10, and MS team on September 17. Given this day, September 17, to be signed kasi wala po dito si RD, to be signed by our Regional Director, Dr. Arturo B. Bayoco, CISO 3. So let's clap our hands for Director Jayla. Yay! Thank you so much. Congratulations to all. Okay, once again, thank you and thank you.
Bye po, bye. Oh, bahala
Yes,
ka na dyan,
bye-bye
Dodo.
po.
Thank you, Ma'am J-Lo.
All right. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next, the meat of the competency standards. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our resource speaker. He is a graduate of Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Planning and Management in University of Science and Technology in Southern Philippines and known as USTP, where his dissertation is the best dissertation. He is also a graduate of Master of Arts in Education in Educational Management in St. Michael's College. He graduated Bachelor of Science in Education, major in Mathematics in Mindanao State University as magna cum laude. During his secondary, he graduated 4th honorable mention, as well as in his elementary as with honors. But imagine, when he graduated in his bachelor's degree, he graduated as magna cum laude. He is a mathematics instructor in Mindanao State University and presently the elementary school principal of Tambo Central School. He is the president of the Philippine Elementary School Principal Association, Iligan City Chapter, a learning facilitator of National Educators Academy of the Philippines. You know, my dear friends, he received a lot of awards. In 2015, he received Gintong Parangal para sa Edukasyon Awardee. 2015, Outstanding Iliganon. 2015, Australian Awardee, or what we call the Slates. 2014, Metrobank Outstanding Teacher of the Philippines. 2014, the most outstanding public school teacher of Region 10. And in 2010, he is the outstanding teacher of Iligan City Division. He has also several affiliations. Okay, Network of Outstanding Teachers of the Philippines, Junior JCs International Iligan City Chapter, Rotary Club Iligan Bay. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our resource speaker on the competency of Philippine professional standards for school heads, no other than Dr. Enerio E. Ibiza.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Gina. At the outset, I'd like to give my morning greetings to our Director, Jennifer E. Lopez, to our Regional Director, Arturo B. Bayocot, and our Assistant Regional Director, Victor De Grasa Jr. I'd like to especially mention also my SDS, Roy Angelo E. Gaso, and the other 13 schools division superintendents. We have also our ESDS, Shamba A. Osman, and the other 13 ASDS. Good morning also to Chief Raymond Antolo, Ma'am Gina Labitad, Ma'am Rebecca Pustrano, also to Chief Edith Ortega, and of course to my fellow school leaders in the division of Iligan City. Good morning. Today, I'd like to share with you some of the slides used by Ma'am Jelo earlier because she was not able to present the slide due to technical error. Now, welcome to the Philippine Professional Standards of School Heads. I will just run through some of the pages because she has already discussed this. The work of PPSSH is developed through partnership between and among DepEd, BHROD, NAYAP, and RCTQ, also with PNU or Philippine Normal University, the University of New England, CIMER, National Research Center of Australia, and this is funded by Australian Aid. This is the slide described by Director Lopez that our work as a school head is both instructional and administrative. We are both instructional leader and administrative manager. And apart from these expectations, we have also other roles assigned to us, clubs and other professional groups. That's why, as you can see in the caricature, the picture here shows plenty of work that a school head is doing. This is the session 1 of our engagement for this morning. It is important to discuss the background, the rationale, research basis, and the development and the validation process of these Philippine professional standards for school heads, since it will affirm that the standard is a product of a robust and a rigorous research work. This is the background of our standards. The next slide will talk about the 2019 World Bank report. So basically, according to the World Bank report, Philippines economic update, rapid technological advances are increasingly making human capital on the following: knowledge, skills, and good health essential to country's economic success, especially in this time of pandemic where we're very concerned of our health. Human capital is a critical driver of both economic growth and inclusion. This World Bank report was published in April 2019, and also in that the same year, the Department of Education is already nearing the 1 millionth rank or mark in terms of number of employees. As what Ma'am Jelo mentioned earlier, we have more than 800 teachers in the country, and plus the non-teaching personnel, we are 900 plus. Aside from that, we have also these key policy levers for human capital. There are a large number of initiatives in the Philippines, and one of that initiatives is the new Philippine Professional Standards for Teacher. Now, PPST is a significant policy adopted by DepEd that all must continue in ensuring its effective implementation in the field. And apart from that, we have also this Philippines Plan of Action for Nutrition, the Universal Health Coverage Law, and ongoing efforts to improve the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program or 4Ps. But along this implementation, what is the challenge we have is the effective implementation of these initiatives that we have enumerated. Now, since DepEd Order number 42 series of 2017 was released, titled National Adoption and Implementation of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teacher, there is a need to complement the standard for teachers. While teachers are guided by PPST, other support systems must also be in place to complement and support teacher quality. And who will support our teachers? Of course, the school principals. That's why there is a need to revisit, there's a need to redevelop or enhance or review our standards for school heads. So, as I have said, we are going to review this to address the career progression and the 21st century thinking, considering that the NCBSSH did not have the so-called career progression. However, the old framework, the NCBSSH, is good during its time, but because of the recent major developments in the education system, such as the 21st century thinking, career progression, and the development of PPST, there was a prompt to review and enhance NCBSSH. It started in 2018. Now, the purpose of the next slide is to show that multitasking, as what Director J-Lo said, is a competence expected to students in the old framework. Actually, it slows down a person. Okay? Aside from having no career stages, the NCBSSH also needs to undergo review to know if there are significant indicators that go against research or go against the recent research. And the indicator on multitasking would serve as an example. As you can see in the slide, this is also shared by Director J-Lo. IQ drops of 15 points for multitasking men, okay, compared to the score of the average range of an 8-year-old child. So we don't want to slower down our IQ because in this time we need to have composition of ourselves, that we need to develop our skills, we need to develop our talents, and develop our expertise in running a school. Okay, this development of standards underwent a rigorous process. But before that, there are also considerations that we followed. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, that's the year 2008, page 9, school leadership plays a key role in improving school outcomes by influencing the motivation and capacities of teachers, as well as the school climate and environment. We highlighted here important words like improving school outcomes. We cannot improve school outcomes if we do not influence the motivation and capacities of our teachers. Therefore, our teachers are key roles or have key roles in realizing our goals and plans for the school. If we want to improve school outcomes, we need to have stronger motivation and we need to empower our teachers. Do you agree this one? I'm sure the principals in Region 10 would agree in the idea of this quote. And then we are also complementing teaching and learning quality by way of providing technical assistance to our teachers. Why professional standards? Internationally, school leadership quality is articulated in the PPSSH. It says here that it's a public statement that sets out what school heads are expected to know, understand, and do to succeed in their work. It also serves as common language, meaning to say, even if you are principal from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, it is a common language that we have the same understanding on what is school with high impact and how do we define effective leaders. And this will also tell us what is really a picture of quality school head, learning, leadership, and management. that also the PPSSH provides common understanding among all of us school heads, be in the elementary and also in the secondary. Okay, I think school heads are the term referring to the both elementary and secondary. So let's have the development design of these standards. PPSSH is a product of a rigorous and robust quantitative and qualitative research and development work. Local and international documents such as DepEd orders, media discourse, and international leadership frameworks that covered more than 70 jurisdictions were reviewed and analyzed. So it took us several time, couple of weeks, couple of months to travel from other countries to the next, just reviewing the content of their professional standards. Also, stakeholders across the country played a crucial role, from consultations to the validations. Finally, the psychometric studies of indicators used the RUSH model for the quantitative data, which will be shared later in the succeeding slides. And we have this in vivo for the qualitative data. So basically, looking at the picture here, it will tell us that it really underwent several processes and development. These are the members of the advisory board. I am showing to you right now the pictures, which Director Jennifer A. Lopez is part of the advisory board, co-chaired by John Arnold S. Siena, the director of NAIAP. With the members, we have here Dr. Arturo B. Bayocot, our very own regional director, Region 10. We have Director Wilfredo A. Cabral from Region 4A. Dr. Evelyn C. Cruzada, the former Assistant Secretary, Office of the Cabinet Secretary, the former President of Leyte Normal University. We have also Dr. Juliet A. Hiruta from Region 7, Dr. Maria Gemma M. Ledesma from Region 6, Professor Juan Miguel Luz of Asian Institute of Management, the author of Brigada Escuela, the former director for BHROD, Maria Lourdes de Pantuja, Dr. Gilbert T. Sadsa, Director of Region 5, Dr. Diosdado M. San Antonio, Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction, and Dr. Ramir B. Oiteco, the Regional Director of Region 8. What is the purpose of the advisory board? Okay, they provide fresh perspectives on various matters considering the expertise, and they are giving us insights on how the standard should look like and how to make it inclusive. And they direct our thinking to issues that may not be on the radar of the research team and ensure that the work is relevant to DepEd and the wider school community. Knowing that we are monitored and given technical assistance by the advisory board, we ensure that the design or the standards are really tailored fit for school heads in the Philippines. Now, these are the members of the technical working group. We have the CID Chief of Valenzuela City, Dr. Fillmore R. Caballero. Now, the regional Hello, Ma'am Gina. Can you still hear me?
Yes, Sir Didong.
Okay, let me continue. We have also Principal 2 of Guimaras, Region 6, Dr. Sara D. Ganancial, and yours truly from Iligan City, Inerio E. Ibiza. And these are the activities conducted. We have the advisory board meetings in 2018. We have 2 advisory boards in 2019 from January, and then we have also April 16. We have TWG meetings, write shops, revision write shops, finalization write shops. And we were also lucky because all the regional director endorsed the approval of these standards in a meeting facilitated by USEC Jesus L.R. Mateo, last September 24, 2019. And as what the question surfaced earlier, if the stakeholders were consulted, and the national organizations such as PESPA, NAPSHI, PSDSA, and SGOD CAP were part of the reviewers, and thousands of stakeholders, including learners, parents, teachers, school heads, supervisors, regional directors, and other educators in all regions. Okay, the consultations with stakeholders, the development of PPSSH is an iterative process of writing and seeking feedback. The work with the TWG spanned for a year along the way, and then the TWG reports to the advisory board, seeks feedback from them, integrates their comment in their work. Okay, and then let's now have the rating of the validation for the standards, and of course this philosophical basis for validation. PPSSH was able to capture the voice of the school heads across the country, having the document undergone 3 stages of validation. And bases are the following. It's a well-designed psychometric study with significant input from our stakeholders. It's a targeted validation study, helps ensure the relevance of the standards to the principal's work. And these standards captures the principal's voice that address their views and needs, can help alleviate most concerns about the professional standards. So this is the first validation across region that started from February 2019. And the result of the validation helped the TWG member and the research team progress in its development. And on the second and third validation, we did a survey through quantitative, and the third validation was done through a focus group discussion in a form of qualitative. So both quanti and qualitative research are employed in the validation of the standards. Now, these are some of the issues addressed during the validation. First, relevance to school heads in the Philippines and the requirements of the educational system. Second, difficulty to confirm stages and career levels. Third, appropriateness of indicators for career levels. Next, preparedness and development priority to identify professional support needs. Familiarization and professional acceptance so as to enhance ownership. Implementation and resourcing priorities for schools, divisions, and the overall deputy system. And of course, quality assurance for quality, school effectiveness, and system accountability. So these are some of the issues addressed during the first, second, and third validation. And this is now the reliability summary of that validation. PPSSH received excellent reliability characteristic that school heads across the country agree that what the document is telling is indeed their work. Okay, so we have here 0.82 item reliability and 0.93 case reliability. Now, what are some of the considerations for national implementation? DepEd supports the implementation of PPSSH by aligning its relevant HR systems to the document, which I believe this has been thoroughly discussed by our director, Jennifer Lopez. And also, she has mentioned about system approach, that the implementation of PPSSH does not take place in isolation, but it is linked with other elements in the Philippine education system, okay, just like PPST and other standards, and also with the standards of the supervisors. Now, this is the alignment between and among, okay, between and among the 3 standards for teachers, for school heads, and for the supervisor. This visual representation emphasizes the system approach that we discussed in the previous slide. And also, all these initiatives go back to strengthening the human capital in DepEd, as discussed in the first part of the presentation. If you can see in the illustration at the bottom, we have here the framework for teachers, and we wanted to have teacher quality, and that is the PPST. Second, we have here the school head quality, ensuring people and school effectiveness, and that's for PPSSH. And at the last part of the circle, we have here the supervisor's quality, supporting organizational effectiveness and implementation and management of curriculum. If we're going to analyze this illustration, the supervisors will give technical assistance to the school heads. Then the school heads are expected to provide technical assistance to the teacher. If we start from the bottom, the teacher, of course, deserve to be monitored or to be given technical assistance by the school heads, and the school heads also are waiting for the technical assistance coming from the PSDS and the EPS. So this is the picture or the illustration mentioned by Director Jello earlier, that we have these two wheels provided by DepEd, but these two here said no thanks, they are very busy. And I'd like to ask you or tell you that the illustration is more on helping the school heads to make sure that our works will become easier, and then we are using that circular wheels rather than the other kinds of wheel. And the two wheels here represent the PPSSH. The one is the PPS, and we are also asking the school heads if you are willing to accept the wheels. I know we have a resounding or we have a choral answer to this, that all of us are ready to embrace the new standards for school heads so that we can have common language, common understanding of what is a total picture of a quality leader. Now let's have the session 2 of our discussion. This is familiarization with the PPSSH, its career stages, domains, strands, and indicators. Okay, so again, this is the hierarchy of our standards. First, we have the career stages. We're referring here to career stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then followed by the domains. Then from the domains, we have the strands. And then from the strands, we have the indicators. Okay, so this is these are the features of the Philippine professional standards for school heads. Now, the framework in this context means a guiding principle that was observed during the course of the development of the Philippine professional standards for school heads. At the center of what the school heads do are the learners. All things are boiled down to the welfare of our learners. We are always thinking for the benefits of our learners, because the learners would always be at the heart of our services. And here, let's have also the important element of work of a school head, maximizing organizational performance and health. Okay, the 5 domains of PPSSH were divided into 2. First, school effectiveness and people effectiveness. With this division, it doesn't explicitly appear in the PPSS document. In this framework, it aims to emphasize that PPSSH is a standard for school heads being line managers. And it is anchored on the mantra of BHROD, which is to take care of people while maximizing organizational performance and health. And another component is this of the 5 domains of PPSSH were divided again into other half, which is people effectiveness. Okay, you can see here that we have also domains like building connections, developing self and others, and focusing on teaching and learning. So we can form now our framework of these new standards, having here, ensuring here effectiveness to people and effectiveness to the school. And the synergy makes the 5 domains of these standards holistic in serving as professional standards for school heads. So if you have observed the framework, it is simple, but it contains all the necessary ingredients to have school effectiveness and people effectiveness. Okay. Now, the development of the standards were aligned and mapped with local documents such as Republic Act 9155, the LFSL or the Learning Focused School Leadership Framework. Again, Learning Focused School Leadership Framework. We also consider the CSB or the CSC Competency Standards and the School-Based Management Framework. Aside from that, we considered also the international frameworks covering more than 70 jurisdictions in Asia, Europe, and America. So we have 4 career stages, and the structure of the PPSSH, it has 5 domains, 34 strands, and 34 indicators per career stage. I repeat, there are 5 domains, 34 strands, and 34 indicators per career stage. Later, I will show you what are these 5 domains, what are these 34 strands, and what are these 34 indicators per career stage. Now, as mentioned in the previous presentation, the development of PPSSH included review and analysis of local and international documents. And in summary, PPSSH supports school heads to ensure people effectiveness or taking care of people, and school effectiveness or maximizing organizational performance and health. Let us not always forget health here, which ultimately affects our learners. So if our leaders are healthy, so they can provide good things to the learners. If our school heads, our teachers are not healthy, then I cannot picture out what will happen to the school. Okay, we are now on the introduction to the career stages, the domains, strands, and indicators. Let's have first the career stages of these standards. Now, may I introduce to you to the different stages of the standards? The PPSSH supports the career progression of school heads. In addition, while career stages in the PPST has labels, like I think for PPST, they have beginner, proficient, highly proficient, and distinguished. But for the PPSSH, it was deemed appropriate to label the career stages of the standards as career stage 1, career stage 2, career stage 3, and career stage 4. Okay? So that it can be different from the PPST. Okay? And it's, I think, safer to have its name or its label using the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see in the presentation, the person is on career stage 2 because we expect that the minimum career stage of principals in the field should be career stage 2. Just like PPST, the minimum or the expected career stage of the teacher should be at least career stage 2. Okay, and later I will discuss to you who are these career stage 1, career stage 2, career stage 3, and career stage 4. Okay, this is career stage 1. Career stage 1 are the aspiring school heads, and they have acquired the prerequisite qualifications for the school head position. Again, they have acquired the prerequisite qualifications for the school head position. They demonstrate basic knowledge and understanding of the authority, responsibility, and accountability, or in other words, aura, expected of school heads as described in the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. They have also acquired the minimum qualifications to perform their functions as instructional leaders and administrative managers. So these are the twin function of the school heads. Next, they are equipped with exceptional teaching. Take note, teaching and or leadership skills described by career stage 3 and or career stage 4 in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers or other relevant equivalent qualifications and experiences. So who are these persons described under career stage 1? So they are the master teachers, okay, or the department heads. Knowing that master teachers are expected to be at career stage 3 and 4 or 4 in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. So basically, career stage 1 is the description for the aspirant, okay, or for those school head aspiring for the position. So again, they may be the master teachers or the department heads. Now let's have career stage 2. Career stage 2 school heads apply the required knowledge and understanding of the aura, authority, responsibility, and accountability expected of them as described in the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. They are professionally independent, take note, professionally independent in performing their functions as instructional leaders and administrative managers. They maintain school effectiveness and people effectiveness by leading strategically, okay, managing school operations and resources, focus on teaching and learning, develop themselves and others, and building connections. They reflect on their practices for improvement and seek to involve all other school personnel in professional learning and career advancement. So this career stage provides the minimum expectations of school heads. So all school heads are expected to reach at least career stage 2. I repeat, all school heads are expected to reach at least career stage 2. Now let's go to career stage 3. Career stage 3 are school heads who consistently display an in-depth knowledge and understanding of the authority, responsibility, and accountability expected of them as described in the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. So this time, they have this consistent display of an in-depth knowledge and understanding. They exhibit advanced skills in performing their functions as instructional leaders and administrative managers. They establish shared governance with wider school community in the efficient and effective implementation of school policies, programs, and other initiatives towards the attainment of institutional goals. And they continuously reflect on and take steps to address their developmental needs and those of other school personnel and learners. So as you can observe, the progression is now going higher. I'd like to highlight the terms here: consistently display an in-depth knowledge and understanding and exhibit advanced skills to differentiate it with career stage 2. So this will differentiate school heads who are career stage 3 from school heads who are career stage 2. Again, they have consistently display an in-depth knowledge and understanding. And lastly, they exhibit advanced skills. Now, welcome to career stage 4. Career stage 4 school heads consistently exhibit mastery in their application of the authority, responsibility, and accountability expected of them as described in the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. They model the highest standards of practice in performing their functions as instructional leaders and administrative managers. They empower the wider school community in the implementation of school policies, programs, projects, and activities towards school community transformation. And they commit to inspire all school personnel and fellow school leaders to continuously pursue excellence and create lifelong impact in the school and community. So basically, only few school heads can be under this stage or career stage 4 because of the highest expectation described for this career stage 4. I'd like to highlight on the terms consistently exhibit mastery in their application and model the highest standards of practice so that it will be differentiated with career stage 3. So each career stage is distinctly different from one another. Okay? So you can really see the progression from career stage 1, career stage 2, career stage 3, and career stage 4 based on the following highlights. Okay? Based on highlights provided in the description of each career stage. Okay. Now, to emphasize what a school head has to undergo professional growth and that standards will serve as a signpost to help identify progress is the main purpose of this presentation. I'd like to ask or I'd like to convey my message to my fellow principals to reflect on their practice according to career stage description. Okay? Ma'am Gina, can you still hear me? Ma'am Gina? Ma'am Gina, can you still hear me? Sir Raymond? Hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go on.
okay,
Go
I'll
on.
just continue. Okay, let's just continue. Okay, here, school head professional growth can be represented by these arrows here, and it is valuable to have signposts along the way to help identify our progress, whether you are a career stage 1, career stage 2, 3, and 4. And school head quality stages are developmental in nature and exist on a quality continuum. Okay, and as I have said earlier, I'd like to challenge or I'd like to reach out to my fellow school heads that we need to reflect on our practice according to the career stage description, whether we are at career stage 2, career stage 3, or career stage 4. If your reflection is more on career stage 4, congratulations, because you are one of the jewels of our department, and we expect that you serve as role models to our fellow school heads in the field. Okay, and if you are still at the career stage 2, you still have long way to go, and you will be climbing up the ladder so that all of us will go forward from career stage 2 to career stage 3 or even career stage 4. Okay, so these are the domains, strands, and indicators of PPSSH. I am already done with the career stages. Let's have now the details of the domains, strands, and indicators of the Philippine professional standards for school heads. Now, for the domains, we have 5 domains. Number 1, leading strategically. Our second domain is managing school operations and resources. Third, focusing on teaching and learning. Fourth, developing self and others. and 5, building connections. If you will ask me about the ranking of this, actually the ranking is not or does not matter because all these domains are equally important. Okay? It doesn't mean that we put leading strategically on the first and this is the most important domain in the Philippine professional standards for school heads. No, all these 5 domains are of equal importance. So let's have first, the first domain, leading strategically, encompasses the school head's commitment to a strategic course of action consistent with institutional goals towards maximizing organizational performance. Again, our institutional goals would refer to our core values, mission, and vision of the department. And in our case right now, we have uniform institutional goals. Okay, we have here the following. We have here vision, mission, and core values, school planning and implementation, policy implementation and review, research and innovation, program design and implementation, learner's voice, and monitoring and evaluation. These are under our first domain. So we have 7. For the second domain, managing school operations and resources, it highlights the school head's commitment in ensuring efficiency, effectiveness, and fairness in discharging functions towards maximizing organizational health. And we have here 6 strands: records management, financial management, school facilities and equipment, management of staff, school safety for disaster preparedness, mitigation, and resiliency, and last, emerging opportunities and challenges. So for domain number 2, there are 6 strands. For domain number 3, that's focusing on teaching and learning, it emphasizes the school head's commitment in providing instructional leadership towards improving competence among teachers and outcomes among learners. Take note, competence among teachers and outcomes among learners. So we have 8 strands under domain number 3. First, school-based review, contextualization and implementation of learning standards. Second, teaching standards and pedagogies. Third, teacher performance feedback. Fourth, learner achievement and other performance indicators. Fifth, learning assessment. Sixth, learning environment. Seventh, career awareness and opportunities. And last, learner discipline. So we have a total of 8 strands under domain number 3. Now let's have domain number 4, developing self and others. It centers on the school head's commitment in ensuring people and team effectiveness. We have also 8 strands: personal and professional development, professional reflection and learning, professional networks, performance management, professional development of school personnel, leadership development in individuals and teams, general welfare of human resources, and rewards and recognition mechanism. So we have a total of 8 strands. And last domain, we have building connections. It points to the school head's commitment in advocating that education is everyone's responsibility. So partnership is essential here, collaboration from the stakeholders. We have 5 strands. First, management of diverse relationships, management of school organizations, inclusive practice, communication, and community engagement. So those are the 5 domains of PPSSH and the 34 strands. Now let's go over to the different indicators under each strand and domain per group. So as you can see in the presentation right now, this is exactly how domain number 1, leading strategically, looks like in the final document. Actually, the final document is there available, but we are waiting for the policy to be released. And as what Ma'am Jalo shared earlier, It's already on the table of our dear secretary waiting for her signature, and the policy will be released anytime. I hope it will be released anytime. So as you can see, this is also the description of each domain. I will just walk you through the pages of each domain and the title itself, leading strategically. And this is how domain number 1 with the different strands and its career stages are being described. If you observe, this is also the same with the PPST, but in here, this is totally different because the same in terms of physical characteristics, but different in terms of content. So if you have the copy later on, if you can grab a copy of this, you will see here the different progression of each strand. I just read to you one strand and one indicator for each domain. Like say for example, vision, mission, and core values. What is expected for career stage 1? They demonstrate knowledge of the DepEd vision, mission, and core values to foster shared understanding and alignment of school policies, programs, projects, and activities. For career stage 2, they communicate the DepEd vision, mission, and core values to the wider school community to ensure shared understanding and alignment of POPs. Career stage 3, they collaborate with school personnel. And then for career stage 4, they serve as a role model. So see the progression from demonstrating knowledge to communicating the core values to the wider community, and then to collaboration with school personnel and other stakeholders. And last, they serve as role models. So this is how the progression of the standards looks like. So I'll just give you the other strands for leading strategically. These are some. We have a total of 7 strands under the first domain. Okay, now for domain 2, this is managing school operations and resources. We have also its description here, which I have read earlier. And then just one strand for this domain, like records management. For career stage 1, demonstrate skills in managing school data and information using ICT. Okay. For career stage 2, manage school data and information using technology available. For career stage 3, capacitate school personnel in managing school data. And for career stage 4, exhibit best practice in managing school data. Again and again, how they are progressed, it's based on the following: demonstrate skills, manage school data, capacitate, and then exhibit. So for career stage 1, if you observe, it's more on personal skill, like what is expected of you or what is expected from you. And then for career stage 2, you have already the know-how on how to apply what you learn. And then for career stage 3, you do not just do it alone, but you are also capacitating others, you are collaborating with others, so you work with other people. And for career stage 4, you are now serving as role model, showing or exhibiting best practice and all. Okay, another strands for domain number 2, we have this, and we have a total of 6 domains in all, for 6 strands in all for domain number 2. Now let's have domain number 3, focusing on teaching and learning. Again, I have already discussed with you what is it all about. Then let's just pick one strand, and will also read the progression of it. Let's take school-based review, contextualization, and implementation of learning standards. For career stage, demonstrate knowledge. For career stage 2, assist teachers. Okay, you assist teachers in the review. For career stage 3, you work with teams. And then for career stage 4, you share exemplary practice. Still, if you observe, there is clear distinction between career stages, and there is clear clear manifestation of progression. And other strands and for domain number 3 are the following. So we have 8 strands under domain number 3. Domain number 4 is developing self and others. And we have these strands. Let's pick one. Let's take this professional reflection and learning. For career stage 1, demonstrate understanding of how professional reflection and learning can be used in improving practice. For career stage 2, apply professional reflection to improve one's practice. For career stage 3, initiate professional reflections and promote learning opportunities with other school heads to improve practice. And career stage 4, model exemplary leadership practices within and beyond school context. I guess what we are doing right now for the implementation of LDM1 is a good manifestation that we are practicing professional learning communities, not only with teachers, but also with our fellow school heads. And that's only one of the many ways to engage ourselves with our colleagues. Again, we have 8 strands for this domain. And this is the last domain of the standards, building connections. Again, partnership, collaboration among our stakeholders are necessary for the realization of this domain. So we have, I think, 5 strands, under this domain. Let's just pick one. Let's have your management of diverse relationships. For career stage 1, demonstrate again. So purely on the career stage 1, it's showing manifestation by demonstrating your skills and abilities or knowledge. And then for career stage 2, build constructive relationship with authorities. For career stage 3, support school personnel in strengthening relationship. And for career stage 4, exhibit exemplary skills. You observe that for career stage 4, this is the career level of or the peak level of a school head. So when you reach career stage 4, you can already say to yourself that you have done a lot of things for your colleagues and you are already self-satisfied with your performance because you will serve as inspiration and motivation to others to also manifest the same characteristics that you have. So that's why we need these people, the career stage 3 and career stage 4, to also help to also reach out other school heads so that all of us will go towards there. Okay? And what is that there all about? Of course, improvement of one's practice. And let's have the remaining slides of my presentation. This is all about championing the standards in the field. Because whether we like it or not, we are all excited to implement the standards in the field. And I think other divisions have already patterned their performance using the domains. I believe there are divisions which have already considered some of the domains because they know that in a little while we can have the national policy of these standards. Now, what are the other points to consider about change when working with others? So we expect that we cannot please everyone, even if we are the kindest individual in the whole world, still we cannot please everyone because we are not everyone's cup of tea, and so we have to consider different changes when we work with others. So by starting a process, it implies some change will occur, right? Okay, just like in this time of pandemic, a lot of changes happen or are happening. All change can be threatening. Okay, I think this is not new to us. Need for change implies things are not working as well as they could, and need for care and sensitivity in the way, the change process is addressed, and needs to be an appropriate climate to bring about change. So what is the emphasis of this sharing is we must give ourselves to our fellow school heads so that they may also feel that they are not alone in this process, that they can also find good company with others, telling them about the standards, and we are working closely with one another. And I think that would become key to realize our objectives. And we want to ensure that there is a quality outcome among our students and competence among our teachers. Okay? And then possible issue in the implementation. In working with principals, supervisors, teachers, parents, and other stakeholders, part of your focus has been to involve others, some senior to you and some not. Like if you are a young principal, then you'll be working with seasoned principal, so you will expect problems perhaps, or you will expect challenges, but along the way, you can still win this fight, and you can be the victor of your fight if you have thorough understanding of the following personalities that you'll be working with. So these are the following. You expect that you have people around you or in your division or within your district who are the rational adapter. So they will listen to data and evidence. Okay? So you have also people, we call them as the pragmatic skeptic. They are open to change under certain circumstances. We have also the Stone Age obstructionist. So these are difficult person to move on anything new. So we want to avoid this number 3. But as you can see, we still have fellow school heads who can be called the Stone Age obstructionists, meaning they are not open for new changes and they are still thinking that they can go back to the old normal. As my point of view, we cannot anymore go back to the old normal because all of us are heading towards the new normal. And I think if we are going to equate that into climbing a ladder, we are already on step number 1, going to step number 2. And I think we cannot anymore afford to go back to the original steps. Instead, we will just enjoy the scenery above and enjoy the standards being offered to us. Like it is being offered to us to make us realize that we are helped. Okay, we are helped by these standards, and it will make us our guiding reference. And so all of us will have the same understanding of what is standards all about. Now, before I'll end this sharing, I'd like to share with you this quote. The breakfast of a champion is not cereal, it's the opposition, by Nick Seeds. Okay? So our life is not always composed of bed of roses. However, we experience also problems, difficulties along the way, but we have this common goal that we can deliver our services as what are expected from us, since we are already in the administration position. Like we are given this task to run a school, and of course we have the standards, the Philippine professional standards for school heads. Then there is no worry of what if we can deliver the the services expected from us or not. But our goal here is we will always try our best. We will always set a difference in our respective school and do what we can deliver so that everything else will be possible. Okay, everything else can be realized. Another one, to be a champion, you have to learn to handle stress and pressure. But if you prepared mentally and physically, you don't have to worry. Okay, just like what happened to our previous speaker, the slides did not work, but you know what? The process should continue. The talk should continue. The webinar should continue even if we encounter glitches, even if we encounter technical problems, because there are many things that are beyond our control. And then let us always know how to handle stress, okay, and pressure. Being a school head is both stressful and full of pressure. But if you know how to handle it, then by all means you will run a school with your smile, okay, with your beautiful smile. Okay? And of course, you have to prepare mentally and physically. In this time of pandemic, we have to take good care of ourselves. And I think we are not anymore looking for treasure or wealth. What we are looking this time is ensuring our health, because it's a cliche that health is wealth. Another one, surround yourself with people who support you. Okay, find champions. So these are the champions, our fellow school heads, our PSDS, our EPS, our chief, our ESDS, our SDS, even the non-teaching personnel, our staff, our security guard. These are the people who will support us. Because in the school where we are running, we are not alone. We have our teachers, we have our parents. Let's just contact them. Let's just communicate them properly. And by all means, they are always there to support us. We'll just communicate what our plans are, and they will also help us. So it's just a matter of surrounding ourselves with people who support you. So let us avoid negative people, those people who are considering negativity, because negative things will also beget negative consequences or negative or other challenges. And thank you for being a champion. I am now congratulating all the principals in the 14th Division of Region 10 and other principals listening right now in our Facebook Live. Special mention to all the school heads of Iligan City, elementary and secondary. Thank you for being a champion in your respective school. Just continue, laban lang, kaya natin to. I'd like to give credits to the persons who prepared the slides. We have here Dr. Gina O. Gonong, the director of RCTQ. We have also Mickey Marie M. Tuason, the project officer of RCTQ, which I got the slides last night. And us, the members of the technical working group of the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads. We are 5 in the TWG. We have the advisory board and all. Thank you so much, and that's all for this morning. I believe I am done. Ma'am Gina, thank you so much.
Okay, yes, sir. Sir Dodong Iner, thank you so much for your discussion and your sharing about the competency standards. So lahat-lahat na yun na-discuss mo na. In the PPSSH, there are 5 domains. There are 34 strands. There are 34 indicators. And these competency standards is divided into 2 components. One in the school effectiveness and the other one is people effectiveness. So by the way, a sort of review, what are the 5 domains that is being mentioned of Sir Dodong? One is leading strategically. Second domain is managing school operations and resources. Third, focusing on teaching and learning. Fourth, developing self and others. And the last one is building connections. So I'm sure that you are familiar with all these already, these domains, but we try to look into what are really the strands and indicators. Right, Sir Dodong?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I hope that the school heads would be able to understand really these domains, the strands, and the indicators. And the supervisors as well be directed to what technical assistance they could extend or give to the school heads. So, ganon, no? So, Sir Dudong, thank you very much. So now, shall we have an open forum? Okay. Actually, I go over the comments na doon sa chat box natin, even sa FB live natin, nakikita natin na lahat na papupuri ay binigay kang Sir Dudong. So, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Ang ano lang nila, ang gusto lang po nila ay sana mabigyan sila ng soft
Okay.
copy nito. Participate about. Sir Dudong, what can you say about this? Since it is not yet signed, are we going to release this to the SDO, the soft copy?
I think we will ask permission from Director
Yeah.
Gilo if we can give copies to our school heads.
Provision or the release of this soft copy to different divisions. Okay, so Sir Raymond, you want two words? Sir Raymond.
Okay, final word is already 12:10, no? So I guess everyone is hungry already. But anyway, again, we would like to thank our resource speakers, no, from the central office, Director JLo, and of course our very own, no, who's part of the National Technical Working Group, Dr. Inerio Ibiza. Thank you very much for the input, no. So I guess this time our school heads, no, are listening right now, watching us via FB live stream, are now enlightened of the functions and roles, responsibilities of being a school head. Comparing the two in the past and now, it's more well defined. It's defined and it's challenging at the same time, no? Because we are moving. We are now facing the challenges and on the 21st, the demands of the 21st century. So we expect probably another round of this because we have laid out already the the competencies through the input of Dr. Ibiza. And the next step probably is to how do we assess the performance based on the competencies for school heads. How do we assess their performance? No? So I think that would be the next step, no? That PHROD will be giving later. No? As I said by Director Jello, it's already signed. No, it's about to be signed by the secretary. So, meaning we are confident that this is now the new journey of our school heads, no, in the landscape of education. So again, I think that's all for my part, no. We're looking forward for the next step. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Ibiza.
All right. So thank you, Sir Raymond, for that words to ponder and pang farewell na yon. But before ending this session, let me read the certificate of recognition. Presented to Dr. Enario Ibiza for the valuable contribution as resource speaker during the webinar orientation to the competency of Philippine professional standards for school heads via Facebook Live at Department of Education Region 10 as well as MS team. Given this day, September 17, signed by our Regional Director, Dr. Arturo B. Bayocot, CESO 3. Okay, so let's clap our hands for Dr. Iner. Thank you so much, sir. Grabe, as in, no? We are looking forward to that, no? So as mentioned by Sir Raymond, that there will be another rollout for this. Okay, as soon as it is signed already, and we're waiting for the release of the tools for the school heads. Okay, so once again, thank you so much. Okay, so I think in the chat box, no, parang walang mga negativism. Okay, yeah, walang mga negativism. Nakasulat ito, lahat, we are the champions. Okay, congrats to the team. All right, especially to our speakers, Dr. Gilo and Dr. Iner. Okay, so I am reminding the participants, no? I am reminding the participants na see to it that you have logged into the Google form for the purpose of the certificates. And also, this is an advance announcement for batch 2 tomorrow. Orientation of Philippine Professional Standards for Supervisors. So yung mga participants natin bukas ay lahat na mga supervisor. It's either from the regional office. So if they are here, okay, listening to me with the HRDD, encouraging all of you to join us tomorrow so that you would know what are our competency standards. So for here in the regional office, all supervisors will be given a hard copy. Okay, this afternoon you will be given so that tomorrow if you have questions to our speaker and then they could answer that. Alright, so please, ang link natin bukas, mga supervisors, if you are in via Google Meet, and the link is already posted in our NorthMin chat box. And for the SDOs, it was already posted, given to your HR SEPs in the division. Or if you do not have, and then you can contact me as well as any staff here in the HRDD for that matter. Okay, so if there is no more questions, once again, thank you so much, Sir Inor. Okay, so I would like to share these quotes from John C. Maxwell. Once said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And from Eleanor Roosevelt, she said, to handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. And lastly, don't quit, just do it. All right, so this is Dr. Lavita, the Education Program Supervisor of the HRDD in the regional office, is now signing off. Thank you very much and be safe always. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Yes
ma'am.
po. Yes. Okay.
Congratulations! Tawang kilay. Grabe kayo.
Okay, ang mga kilay natin.
Maniod to na ta.
Congratulations!
Alam ba yan nga? Uy, my good. Open pa di ay.